Hey everybody, Kennedy Hawk here. Welcome back to our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. box playthrough series. Today we're going to be using Black Panther Aggression against MODOK. I'm really enjoying revisiting old heroes, and I'm considering just sort of playing through the heroes time and time again until I've played them all. Maybe not all against the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. box, but that's how we're going to start out. So here we have T'Challa, the Black Panther, soon to be one of the Black Panthers based on the Shuri spoilers we've been seeing go out, and we're going to be fighting against MODOK. So if you haven't been tuning into the podcast or the YouTube channel, we've been doing a villain primer, like a villain strategy guide, and then playing against that villain every Wednesday. So this is week 3 of that sort of series, and we're going through MODOK. So just shuffling my deck up, and we'll go through the setup for MODOK. I've already done it sort of before I turned the camera on as I was getting everything set up, but I will talk through it again just so y'all get to hear it. Okay, oh, that deck, that card wants to be right there. Okay, so MODOK is a double-sided villain. He has an A side for standard and a B side for expert. He has Retaliate 1 and a Forced Interrupt. When MODOK would be defeated, if a holding cell is in play, which one is, remove 2 lock counters from it and reset him to 10 hit points. Otherwise, the players win the game. So we're going to have to defeat him multiple times. We have a main scheme with 7 threat threshold and 1 per player starting and 1 per player being added per round. The setup is to create a holding cell deck, which is a deck of 4 holding cells that I randomly shuffled, and to place 2 lock counters on the top one. Our goal for this game is to rescue those 4 allies, because every time we defeat a holding cell, an ally will come into play. As long as that ally is not defeated and goes back into a holding cell, we'll be able to defeat MODOK once we have all 4 of them on our team. You're also going to put a random adaptoid environment into play. So I shuffled this set of cards and put a random one into play. So each adaptoid gains the elite trait, +1 attack, and their attacks gain overkill and ranged. And then everyone starts with 1 adaptoid engaged with them. So I have this adaptoid who's a 1/1, so he's really a 1/2 with 5 health. And when defeated, he removes 1 all-purpose counter from an environment. So he's going to be able to remove a cell when I defeat him. Under the main scheme's B side, we have a Forced Interrupt. When this would be completed, we're going to reveal and bring out a new adaptoid environment that's going to add to the other ones, sort of making these things little mega monsters. Then, after you've added one, if there are no more, the players lose the game. So there are 3 set aside right here. So we get 1 scheme pop will have 2 things, 2 scheme pops will have 3 things, and the 3rd scheme pop will reveal the 4th one and have lost the game. So can't get too crazy with the threat. So let's see how this goes with Black Panther. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in Alter Ego mode. We have Mean Swing, Vibranium Suit, Nick Fury, Dropkick, Blade, and Wakanda Forever. And right here on the holding cell, which I guess I didn't read, it enters play with 2 per player lock counters on it. When the last lock counter is removed, we will flip it over and put that ally into play under any player's control. And we can spend energy, or 3 resources of any type to remove a lock counter. Okay. I would like to search for some Vibranium. I'm not too concerned with triggering Vibranium Suit, but I would really like to play Nick Fury, so I'm going to throw away these 3 right here and search for 3 new cards for my mulligan. No Vibranium. Bummer. And then we get to go search for a Black Panther upgrade from our setup ability. And I think I'm going to grab Panther Claws, because they do some damage. So my goal here with Black Panther was to get the Vibranium Suit, which I saw in my opening hand. So specifically, so that if I take Retaliate damage, I can then heal that damage and throw it onto Adaptoids to get lock counters. But we'll see how that works out in principle here in a minute. So I think what we're going to do is, having said that, I'm going to immediately throw away my Vibranium Suit, spending 4 to play Nick Fury and drawing 3 cards. So we get a Hulk, a Mockingbird, and an Honorary Avenger. Not exactly what we wanted to see. I'm going to throw away Mockingbird and Hulk to play my Panther Claws. I am going to flip to this form and put an Honorary Avenger onto myself to give myself 1 more hit point. And we have a Mean Swing, so if we perform an attack for 2, against this Adaptoid, we can turn that into an attack for 5 to defeat the Adaptoid right away, which will feel pretty good, allowing us to remove 1 lock counter. At this point, Nick Fury can do something. I don't really care about the Retaliate from MODOK right now, because Nick's going to just chump block, so I will attack him for 2 and take 2 damage back, and then I will ready all my cards and draw 5 new ones. So we've got Skilled Strike, Shuri, the Golden City, Drop Kick, and Genius, finally a double resource. Not the right double resource, but that's okay. The other reason I chose Black Panther is a lot of these holding cells have spend 2 of the same resource type to remove a lock, so we'll be able to do that more frequently using this ability. That's the bad spot for cards, so we'll make that my discard pile for the camera. Okay, that is very shiny. Sorry everyone. Okay, villain turn, right? So MODOK is going to get 1 threat. He's going to attack me for 1 plus something, and Nick is here for it. 1 plus 0. That's okay. Nick is still defeated. Let's not do that with our discard pile. And then we get an encounter card. Scientist Supreme, Victory -1, Villainous, and Vulnerable. His attacks gain Piercing and Ranged, and he has 6 health. So a big ol' minion to deal with. And it's our go. I would really love to clear that cage right now, but I don't think that's reasonable with what I got's going on. So I think what I do instead is I will play Shuri. That will let me go fish out, search your deck for an upgrade and add it to your hand. Daggers, Tactical Genius. Those are my choices. So I think we'll grab Daggers for more mean swing action. Although Tactical Genius doesn't sound bad right now. We will thwart with Black Panther to bring this down to 2. We're probably going to have the villain scheme pop here, unfortunately. I'm going to punch Scientist Supreme for 1 to just start putting damage on him. I'd really like to flip down right here. So we're just going to let the Adaptoids get a little bit stronger. I'll use Dropkick and Skilled Strike to play the Golden City. Golden City lets me exhaust to draw 2 cards. I get Psylocke and a Strength, so that's perfect because I can use Strength to play my Energy Daggers. And I will hold on to Psylocke because Confuse seems strong if we're going to flip down for Golden City often. So we're going to draw 5 cards. We've got a Mean Swing, a Dropkick, a Vibranium, a Wakanda Forever, and a Tactical Genius. The villain phase begins. We're going to get 1 threat here, and MODOK is going to scheme for 2 plus 0. Loving it. This little guy here is going to scheme for 2 plus 2, which is going to be 4, just enough to pop the main scheme. So we're going to reveal another Adaptoid thing. Adaptoids get +1 scheme, insight, and aerial. All bad things. Okay. That was the villain phase, and it was horrible. So let's use Golden City and see what we can do here. So we're going to get a Skilled Strike and a Skilled Strike. I'm loving this. We will flip up. We will... I think we'll use a Vibranium to clear this holding cell. So that's going to get us 1 Flying Inhuman with 2 locks going back on the cell. Flying Inhuman has 2 thwart, 1 attack, does not count against your ally limit. After this ally thwarts, remove 1 threat from another scheme, and after it leaves play, it gets put back into a holding cell, which is terrifying. He's going to be a thwart machine for us, I'm pretty sure. And we've got a lot going on here. I think we'll use Tactical Genius and 1... do I want to play... I don't need to flip down this turn, so I don't have to play Psylocke. Let's use Dropkick and Skilled Strike to play a Tactical Genius. So we've got 3 Black Panther upgrades out there. At this point, I'll use a skilled strike to play Wakanda Forever, so I get to choose the order of the triggers, so I'll choose to remove threat. I'll choose to do 1 damage to everything as not an attack, so no retaliate from MODOK, and then I'll choose to do 4 more to the Scientist Supreme, which will knock it out, because the 1 plus the 4. Okay. At this point, we could do a base attack. We will base attack for 2, 3, 4, 5 by using Mean Swing. Not enough to fully knock him out, but enough to do some damage, and we'll take a retaliate. So we're now looking for double mentals to unlock the holding cells, but in our case, I think we just go for MODOK and knock him out. That'll release another Inhuman from its holding cell. Alright, so let's draw to 5 cards. Psylocke, Wakanda Forever, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Vibranium, woohoo, and Spider-Girl. She would have been useful against that villainous guy, who actually has victory, so let's get him out of there. Alright, MODOK gets 1. He's going to attack me, and I'm just going to take it to the face because of Retaliate. He's going to attack me for 1, and he will take a Retaliate damage back. Forgot all about that on Black Panther. Our encounter card is It's Alive! Each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for an Adaptoid minion and reveals it. Deal each player who did not engage a minion this way a face-down encounter card. I'm going to take them from the deck because we know that they're going to have Insight when they get revealed, so I would like to get to ignore that. Ouch, deal each player. That's going to be nasty in 4-player. Okay. That was the villain's turn. It's the good guy's turn now. We want to knock out MODOK, and I think we're going to do it by using Earth's Mightiest Heroes to play Wakanda Forever. With Wakanda Forever, we will remove 1 threat from the main scheme. We will ping everything for 1, so that will defeat MODOK. When MODOK is defeated, he's going to reset to 10 hit points. And he is going to remove, that's not hit points, that's locks. He's going to remove 2 locks, oh gosh, 2 locks from the scheme, or from the agenda, which will give us another hidden ally, so the Psionic Inhuman. After this ally thwarts, remove 1 lock counter from a holding cell. Oh wow, that's great. I like that. After he thwarts, whew, he is going to accelerate things here. And we still have our Panther Claws to trigger, so I will hit this Adaptoid for 4, which is going to remove a lock from the next cell already. At this point, I think we thwart for 1 with our fancy little guy over here, because he's going to remove yet another lock, revealing just the double physical one. Here we have a 2/2 character that gains overkill when it attacks. Sarah. She's great. 2 locks on the final holding cell. And we just cleared 2 of those in 1 turn. That is crazy. It doesn't have any delayed response that I can see. Okay. Well, in that case, I think we go wild here. We could attack for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is not enough to knock out MODOK, so I don't think we do that yet. I do think that we use Vibranium to remove a lock. Just get that down nice and low. We will have Black Panther attack and take 1 retaliate just to start chipping away at this guy. And I think I'm pretty comfortable with Shuri also going away, because once we remove that last lock, we are going to have to defeat this guy. I'm kind of fearful of these other allies, but I do want to make sure I'm able to defeat the villain in the last phase. So I am going to have Sarah take 2, 1 from her consequential, 1 from the retaliate to deal 2 damage to MODOK. So now we only have to do 5, which we could do with our allies if we need to. I'm going to pitch Spider-Girl and Psylocke, because I'd really like to draw into a Vibranium or a Wakanda Forever. And we'll end my turn. We got basically both. Okay. Ready all our friends here. The villain phase begins. I see 1 threat go on the main. I see MODOK is going to attack me for 1 plus something. Face tanking is the best. 1 plus 2. 3, because there's an aim minion in the victory display. So 4 damage to my face. 1 retaliate against MODOK. We also have an encounter card, which is Hostage Situation. MODOK cannot take damage. Oh gosh. A task, one rescued ally here face up. Attached ally is under no player's control. When defeated, the defeating player takes control of that ally. So let's put the flying guy there. No, he needs to be thwarting that scheme so that we can damage MODOK. Let's put Sarah there. And we will have 3 threat on that scheme. And it's our go. So, knowing that, I believe what we will do is we will thwart for 2 and take 1 consequential here. And after we thwart, something happens, right? After this ally thwarts, remove 1 threat from another scheme, or remove it from the main scheme. We will thwart here, taking a damage. That will defeat this side scheme, which allows us to bring Sarah back. And then this guy has thwarted, so we get to remove a lock, which means we get our last ally, the strong Inhuman. And what the heck, we'll hit MODOK for 2 and let the strong Inhuman finish his captor off, taking 2 retaliate. And there you go, MODOK in standard mode. Not bad at all. We didn't even have to use cards from our hand. And I found in solo that's kind of how this goes. The 2 locks is pretty low to constrain you in solo. So you can usually get to it pretty quickly. A little bit harder in expert mode because MODOK's a little bit nastier. But for the most part, not too bad to do. Especially once you get all those Inhumans out there. Now I will say we're going to look at the expert mode card here in a minute, and that does change things quite a bit when we flip MODOK to his expert side. So we are starting with the wild resource holding cell this time. Let's see what environment we are going to begin with. Environment 3. Strong, so they get +1 attack, toughness, and brute. And what order do these come out in? It's before the minion comes out, so this minion is going to come out with a tough on it, which makes them a little bit nastier to defeat. So we're getting all the harder things here in expert mode, which is fine. We don't mind that. That's why we play expert mode. Alright, so let's flip MODOK and read this side. So now he has steady and retaliate 2. That confuse doesn't matter as much. He schemes for 3. Retaliate 2 is just obnoxious. And he has 14 hit points. So here, the step from solo standard to solo expert is significant. 14 hit points is a lot more to chew through, especially when there's that retaliate 2 on there. So I'm going to want to be putting really big attacks on MODOK. And I'm going to really not be able to use allies to finish him off. The adaptoids are going to get tough this time, so all the worser things for us today. There is a random deadly shot from Black Widow in my Black Panther Nemesis. I have to remember to fix that later. Okay. We don't want that shuffled in there. That's unnecessary. Something was the wrong way. Oh goodness. Half the encounter deck is the wrong direction. What have I done? This makes for great video. And audio. I didn't forget about you people that watch YouTube while driving. Alright, we'll just leave them in that order. Just kidding. That was a joke. Cut it in half like a good competitive CCG player. Okay, let's shuffle our deck too. I really like Dragon Shields because they slide right in between each other really nicely. And I don't know if it's real, but the friction from the friction-y side, the anti-slip stuff, is very tactile. I loves. Okay, let's do some awkward cutting and call it a day. So, here we go against MODOK in expert mode. Same deck. We're going to start with an energy, a dropkick, a mockingbird, a spider girl, a energy daggers, and a dropkick. So I see right away that stunned is not going to help me. Spider girl might be okay because she can hit this adaptoid, but I am going to drop these 3 right away and look for anything better. We don't get much. We do get a wild, but it's our Wakanda Forever that we probably want to use to play Wakanda Forever. We get to go search for an upgrade, and I believe we'll grab our Panther Claws, and see what we can do here. So we're mulliganing pretty hard because we really want to find Golden City, although with 3 scheme, I don't know if we'll be doing much flipping down. Let's see. Let's use energy to play Panther Claws. Let's use Earth's Mightiest Heroes and Spider Girl to play energy daggers. And we will use Tactical Genius to play Wakanda Forever. So we will energy daggers everything for 1. So that is going to hit MODOK for 1 with no retaliate. That's going to hit tough off this guy. And then we'll swing at him for 4. And I didn't forget to do all of this. I definitely have to be in hero form. So I will finish off that Adaptoid with Black Panther, removing 1 lock token. So there you have it. We're making progress already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think my plan here is not working out. Well, I was about to say, I don't think I'm going to be knocking out MODOK much, but now I have like an 11 damage turn in my hand, so we'll see. MODOK's going to get 1 threat. He's going to attack us for 1 plus something, and we're just going to face tank it. 1 plus 3, that's 4. That's a big face tank. He will take a retaliate, thank goodness. And we get a caught off guard. Oh, goodbye. Energy daggers? I think that's the right move. Well, this is an awkward turn. We're going to play 2 Honorary Avengers on ourselves. Healing is good. We are going to attack for 2, 5, 7 with Mean Swing and Skilled Strike, and just get that MODOK in spitting range for the future and see how many allies we can get in 1 turn. I'm going to pitch Mean Swing, and I'm going to flip down and let him get another Adaptoid environment for now, because I think I need to. But I get, oh sorry, I'm supposed to start with 2 of these out. So that guy also had +1 attack and ranged. In Expert Mode, you start with 2 environments out. So after the first pop, I can't let the main scheme pop a second time. But we really need to flip down to find some things. So we get a Skilled Strike, a Nick Fury, a Psylocke, a Shuri, a Vibranium, and a Wakanda Forever. Okay. So we are going to get 1 threat on the mean. MODOK is going to scheme for 3 plus 0. Wow. This is magical Christmas land. And our encounter card is a hostage situation. When revealed, attach 1 rescued face-up ally here. There are none. He still can't take damage until we defeat this, though. So, it is in the way, but it's not in the way yet. Wow, that was a really lucky flip. So, let's use Psylocke, Shuri, and Vibranium to play a Nick Fury. Let's use Skilled Strike instead of Shuri, actually. I like keeping her in my hand. That's going to draw me 3 cards. Hulk, Mean Swing, Wasp, all the allies. None of the wild resources. Okay, let's flip up. We are going to gross. I don't know. Play Wakanda Forever. We can't damage anything. We can only get 1 Wasp out. That's kind of butts. I think we have to use our base thwarts to clear hostage situation, just to get it out of the way. Wow. This isn't beautiful. Let's use a Mean Swing and a Hulk to play Shuri. She's going to go fish up our last Black Panther upgrade, which it looks like we're going to need. That upgrade is Vibranium Suit. We'll spend our last 2 resources to play Vibranium Suit, just to get it out there. Shuri's going to thwart for 1 to keep us in this part of the main scheme, and away we will go. Okay, we're drawing 5 cards. We get a Blade, Brawn, Dropkick, Vibranium, and Wakanda Forever. Are we going to use the Vibranium to just clear a holding cell? It is quite possible, because we've been waiting for a while. All right, we're going to 6 threat on the main scheme. MODOK is going to attack us, and Nick Fury is going to defend for 1. He'll technically live. We've got an encounter card. It is an Adaptoid, so it has toughness, obnoxious, brute, +1 attack, +2 attack, overkill, and ranged. So it is just nasty out there. Okay. What are we going to do here? Nick Fury is going to get discarded. Let's get rid of him right away. I can drop kick. That doesn't feel essential right now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's get an ally. Allies seem important. And that lets us really focus on whatever the next thing is, which is 2 physical. So I think I'll actually take a token off right away for the 2 physical. And I will have Shuri attack to get tough off of this guy. We will then play Wakanda Forever. So we will move 1 damage from ourselves to this enemy. We'll then punch him for 4 to clear another lock, which gives us another ally. And these allies don't come into play exhausted. Yeah, that's awesome. This should be at 2, because we just took an ally. Okay. So we've got Strong and Human. We've got Sarah here. The main scheme is going wild. We have not used our base anything yet, so I think we'll thwart for 2. We'll thwart for 2 more from Sarah. Get that main scheme nice and low. And I think Strong and Human's gonna punch for 3. He'll unfortunately take 3 back because of that Retaliate 2. We'll call it a day. And see how it goes. We need energy resources now. Our deck is running pretty low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See if we can finish things before they get out of control. Look at that. We need energy resources, and we got 1. That's beautiful. Okay. Well, good time to kill MODOK. 1 threat going on the main. He is going to attack me for 1+ something, and I'm here for it. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I shouldn't have been so cocky. And we get an encounter card, which is a master plan. So let's go looking for a side scheme. 1, 2, 3. 3 cards only. That's not so bad. And he gets an Amplify with 4 threat on it. I don't know if we care, honestly. His attack is so low, I think we could just ignore that. And go for lock counters here. So who have we not seen yet? I believe we've seen double physical, we've seen wild, we've seen double energy. So we're going to have a double mental here in a second. So we'll remember that when we're spending things here. First thing first, we need to do 1 damage, and something's going to take Retaliate. So Shuri, you're here for it. She's going to damage MODOK, which is going to put him back to 14, which is quite a bit, but that's okay with us because we are strong. We are 1. 10, 12, 1 more 2 health token. Where are you? I need to get more by the same health tokens. I got the red ones, and I want more white ones. Okay, back up to 14. That lets us remove 2 locks. Hello, flying dude. And we get 2 lock counters on this last cell. So it's looking for 2 mental. Guess what? We got 2 mental. So let's do that right away. We don't have another way to remove a lock until we draw more mental. So do we want to do anything else? I mean, we definitely want to do something else, but what do we want to do is the question. I think we'll definitely use our base attack. That's going to have 2 retaliate on it. 4 for 2. Does that feel good? I don't know if that feels good. But we got to damage him somehow. So let's do 4. We're going to take 2 from our retaliate. We will... gosh, this is all so gross. Do we use Wakanda Forever and just flip down? I don't know if I hate that. Let's use Wakanda Forever. We'll do 2 to him and take 2 back. And then we'll move 2 to him. So we're not actually going to go up any, but we'll remove 2 from the Retaliate on Vibranium Suit. We're going to flip down, because we basically have to. We're going to remove 2 thwart from this scheme, which removes 1 from another scheme with our Flying Human. Sarah, who's supposed to be here to attack, is just going to keep on thwarting. Keep on thwarting to get rid of that side scheme. And our strong boy is going to help us out here and try to keep us in this phase. So I'm going to discard Earth's Mightiest Heroes because I need mental resources. I get a Vibranium, so that is great. We do deck out, so we're going to get dealt an encounter card. And I think they might get 1 more Adaptoid, so hopefully that's not an Adaptoid thing here. Oops. We needed 1 more card to get to 7, and it's a Brawn, so we definitely have a ton of mental resources. We finally have our Golden City, bottom 5 cards. Alright, 1 threat going on the main. MODOK is going to scheme for 3 plus, drumroll. 1. 4. We are so lucky. We do have 2 encounter cards. The first one is a Jailer. Guard, when Aim Jailer attacks. When revealed, Aim Jailer attacks the rescued ally with the fewest remaining hit points. Otherwise, place 1 lock counter on hold cell. So who is the ally with the fewest remaining hit points? This guy has 3 left. She has 3 left. He has 4 left. So I think I have to defend with my Inhuman ally and take 2 just to avoid, you know, real bad stuff. We've also got a Monica. Victory -1, vulnerable when she is in the victory display. When Supreme Scientist is in the victory display, she gains villainous. Ignore. Ignore. Okay. It's our go. This is beautiful. We have to do 6 damage to him and kill this guard minion. That could be a little obnoxious. But we do have a Wakanda Forever. Do I need to heal? Retaliate 2 is a lot of Retaliate. I think I have to heal 4. I could math it out with you all, but that's boring. Alright, let's flip up. We need to take care of Jailer Boy here. Because he has guard. So we're going to hit him for 3 and take 1 damage onto our Inhuman. I am going to use Vibranium to remove that last lock, so we get another Inhuman friend here. And I think Sarah, who has Overkill, love it, will hit him for the last 1, pushing 1 damage onto MODOK. So no Retaliate either. Beautiful. So we need to get 5 damage in on this bad boy, and we can do that exactly with a Wakanda Forever. So we will take 1 damage off ourselves to do 1 damage to him, and then we'll take our 2 Retaliate. We'll do 4 damage to him with our Panther Claws and do our 2 Retaliate, and we've got 3 cards left in our hand, defeating MODOK just before he pops that scheme in Expert. So not too hard in Expert today, although like we did get really lucky with scheming twice. That's twice I expected the main scheme to pop when it got to exactly 6. So, you know, your mileage may vary. But super fun scenario. Did we not see, or are there any of these we didn't see? We didn't see the one that adds Villainous and the Psionic trait, so that could have been pretty cool. But all in all, really fun scenario. It feels a little similar to Batroc because you have this secondary win condition, but here it's like a secondary loss condition, or here it's a loss and win condition. I guess you had that in Batroc too, but you did it by thwarting. Here you do it by like pushing through these holding cells. And again, I keep talking about this like push all the buttons game mode. This feels very much like that because you have all these different buttons, but in this case, what's different than this in Batroc is all the buttons are pushing towards the same thing. In Batroc, some of the buttons are like managing the alert level, and some are pushing damage onto the villain, and some are removing threat from the main scheme, and some are dealing with all the minions that come out. But here, right, like, you can get rid of locks by killing Adaptoids. You can get rid of locks by killing MODOK. You can get rid of locks by spending resources. So whereas in Batroc, damage and threat both did sort of the same thing, there were these like secondary buttons that became a little overwhelming. Whereas here, like, I got to make decisions, and they didn't feel like false decisions. In every situation, I could have gone for threat. I could have gone for spending resources or gone for attack. And depending on what cards came into my hand, I had to make the most intelligible choice. So I really liked MODOK. Retaliate 2 is brutal in solo. Those Inhumans were looking bloody, but we pulled it off. And we had to defeat him twice to burn through the locks. We did do the 14 damage. So go us, go Black Panther, and get out of here, MODOK. We'll see somebody else next week. See you guys.